Democrats and their radical agenda. They can't define a boy or a girl. One of the most basic truths in human biology is the existence of two sexes, male and female. Yet leading Democrats struggle to define what a woman is. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, when asked to define woman, famously responded, "I'm not a biologist." If the highest legal minds in the country cannot define basic biological reality, how can they be trusted with laws and policies that shape our nation? This denial of reality extends to public schools, where children are encouraged to embrace gender fluidity and are subjected to social transitions without parental consent. The Biden administration actively supports allowing children to use bathrooms and play on sports teams based on gender identity rather than biological sex, undermining fairness and safety. They are mutilating children. Democrats champion so-called gender-affirming care, which is a euphemism for child mutilation. This includes puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, double mastectomies on teenage girls, and genital surgeries on minors. The American Academy of Pediatrics has been pushing these treatments despite European nations like the UK, Sweden, and Finland withholding their support due to long-term harm. States like California and Washington allow minors to undergo these procedures without parental consent. The Biden administration's Health and Human Services Secretary, Xavier Becerra, has pushed policies that enable minors to access these life-altering procedures while shielding doctors from legal consequences. Democrats argue that children are mature enough to decide to permanently alter their bodies, but at the same time insist they are too immature to own a firearm, vote, or even drive a car responsibly. The hypocrisy is glaring. They left the border wide open. Under Joe Biden's presidency, illegal immigration has reached historic levels. Over 6 million illegal immigrants have crossed the border since Biden took office, more than the population of 30 U.S. states. Fentanyl. Crisis. Cartels are smuggling deadly fentanyl across the border, leading to record overdose deaths in American cities. Terror threats. Record numbers of individuals on the terrorist watch list have been caught at the border. Who knows how many more slipped through? Human trafficking. Open border policies have fueled a surge in child trafficking, with unaccompanied minors disappearing into the system. Despite this, Democrats call it a challenge, not a crisis, and spend billions on housing and benefits for illegal immigrants while ignoring struggling American citizens. Republicans and the alleged fascist dictatorship. Now let's address the claim that Republicans are turning the U.S. into a dictatorship. Investigating corruption is not fascism. Democrats spent 4 years falsely accusing Trump of Russian collusion, launching a sham impeachment over a phone call, and weaponizing the DOJ against their political opponents. Yet, when Republicans investigate actual corruption, such as Joe Biden's influence peddling with China and Ukraine, it's suddenly a witch hunt. The double standard is undeniable. The real authoritarianism comes from the left. The Biden DOJ raided the home of a former president over a records dispute. Trump supporters were arrested and jailed for months for simply walking into the Capitol on January 6th, while leftist rioters from 2020 burned cities with impunity. The FBI was caught colluding with big tech to suppress the Hunter Biden laptop story, directly interfering in the 2020 election. The actual authoritarian threat in America comes from Democrats who silence dissent, arrest political opponents, and control the media narrative. Conclusion: Democrats have embraced radical gender ideology, endorsed child mutilation, and allowed the border to collapse. They ignore their own corruption while accusing Republicans of being fascists for simply investigating their crimes. The real question is this: who benefits from lawlessness, chaos, and open borders? Certainly not everyday Americans. The choice is clear. America can either continue down the path of leftist insanity or stand with those who believe in truth, security, and freedom.